Welcome to the IceCast. Hi, welcome to the very first ever episode of IceCast Esports' new podcast, IceCast. I'm your host, Kessler, along with my two other hosts, Homie and Cheesy.
What's up?
And today, we are going to talk to you about how to avoid tilt, because tilt is a problem that has been plagued many gamers and plagued me for like 3 years. And just focusing on my mental game alone got me from Diamond 2 to Champ 2. So obviously, there's some merit to it. So I was going to ask you guys, what do you guys do when you start feeling a tilt coming on, and how do you manage it in game?
In game, I don't manage it.
Yeah. I
Like,
definitely agree with that.
yeah.
And then
I can't handle it.
Yeah, most of the time I just try to focus on something else. Like if I'm getting mad and I'm listening to music, I'll just like focus on the music more. But like still focusing on my gameplay. I'll just like kind of listen to the music more. That usually helps. But when I'm not listening to music, I can't really do much about it. I'm tilted.
That's a good idea though. That's part of I guess kind of, I don't know if it's self-hypnosis or what it actually is, but
I think it's something like that.
yeah,
Probably.
it's some phenomenon of you get your brain stuck on something else. Like if one time I tried playing and I got tilted and I was like, I'm just gonna breathe really loud, and obviously you can't do this on voice chat, but I was like, I'm just gonna breathe really loud and just only focus on my breathing, because that's what hypnosis does. And I wasn't even tilted, like I just started autopiloting, and that I didn't play maybe as well as if I was concentrating fully, but at least I didn't tilt.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it's a really good thing to do. I might actually try that actually. Just like mute myself in voice, or maybe when I'm solo queuing, and I'm like,
I've done that a couple
fuck, I'm
times.
Smash Pro said picture a body of water. Some people picture the sky. I used to picture the sky, and I'm a very visual person, but that didn't really work for me. But one time in a Smash tournament I did, I was like, oh, let me think about this beautiful lake I was just at in Kentucky. And then the next thing I knew, I won the match, and I was like, how did that happen? It's kind of like when you're driving, and then you're just like, you don't even pay attention, suddenly you're at your destination, and you just like autopiloted the whole way, which I'm not recommending.
I do
I'm
that
not
every day.
recommending.
Be
But you
safe,
know,
Every day I do that.
the stakes are a lot lower in video games.
yeah, your life isn't exactly on the line. Well, most of the time.
So, what do you do, like, okay, obviously we play Rocket League, but what do you guys do in longer games, such as, like, Counter-Strike, or I don't know how long a COD game is, it's like 10, 15 minutes, I think. What do you do
It's like the same as a Rocket League game usually.
Oh, okay. What do you do in
Yeah,
those
COD
kinds of games where, like, you tilt kind of at the beginning of the game? Do you still have the whole rest of the game to go? Do you just play tilted, or do you try to manage it?
I mean, it depends what tilted me. If it's obvious there's a hacker on the other team, then I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably gonna be for the whole game then if it's a hacker or something like that. You're gonna be
Or
tilted the whole
I might
time.
even just leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like for me when I play like 2K, those are pretty long games sometimes. I'll get pissed off about like, oh, that was bullshit. That should have been in. And then I'll just I'll just keep going, and then most like 90% of the time I'll just start doing better, and then I'll just like forget about what happened before, just based on because you don't really got time to focus on what happened before. You got to focus on what's happening now. There's not really much leeway there.
Good point.
You gotta know what you're doing, So just focus on like the actual game and what's going on in the game more. That might help out instead of like focusing on what made you mad. That could help.
Accepting that you're not the best in the.
Just be
in the-
like, yeah,
in the lobby.
I'm fucking trash. I'm getting shit on,
Yeah.
It's all good.
Swallowing
hard to do
pride
that.
is definitely big.
Yeah, a lot of people gotta learn to do that, myself included.
Yeah, I mean, we all do, right? But just notice, I don't know, there's one video where these Rocket League players of different ranks try to guess other people's ranks as they show them like these highlights. And as the ranks got higher, obviously it got more accurate because those players know more about the game. But even like the gold and stuff, gold and silver players were decently accurate. But the platinum player, the highest he ranked other people was also plat. So, just kind of hits that level of I'm really good, and everyone else around me is really bad, and probably just
Yeah.
contributes to
Yep.
tilt.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
and like you notice your teammates' mistakes more than you notice your own. And
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point there.
everyone said that. Like,
Yeah, that's a really good point. And kind of going back on the guessing ranks thing, I feel like the best rank for that would be around champ 1 because they know high champ is that's a different ball game there, and they know
yeah,
what
that's
it's
how
like
they get
below
at the beginning of
because
the season.
yeah,
Sorry.
exactly, yeah, and then they also know how it is at lower ranks because they had to play there. And I feel like with the pros, they've just been there, been high rank for so long, they just like kind of forget what it's like at the lower levels. So that's why they would place like, say, a gold 2 at like plat 3 because they don't remember that sort of thing. They're just so far past
Yeah.
that they don't know what they're talking about most of the time with that.
Yeah.
And if they ever do like a grinding a grand champ from like a new account or something, they're always like, oh, I forgot. Like you can do this in bronze. Like people are this good in bronze.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like,
like damn, people can actually hit the ball. What the fuck?
yeah,
Like yo,
game's
what?
been out for 5 years.
I actually wonder what it's like to be someone who's actually stuck in bronze. Like that, that must suck.
Oh man,
I was stuck in bronze when I first started playing. I had like
Really?
really?
I don't know how many hours I had. Not many.
Hmm.
I think I got straight to silver, honestly.
Like
The
what?
first rank I remember being was gold 2. It's because I played a shit ton of casual and like hoops and rumble
Oh,
before I
Really?
played it.
They comp?
This,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah. This was back before hoops and rumble were ranked. I consider myself an OG. I played, late 2016, I think, early 2017. I can't exactly remember. I think late 2016 is when I started playing.
Uh-huh.
I got ranked early 2017. I ended up being diamond somehow. I don't know how. And then
Yeah.
mid 2017, I got my Xbox, and I got placed gold there.
well,
Little bit of a
I am
drop.
the ultimate OG because I played in season 1, and in season
Yeah.
1 you started at 50 MMR, and bronze was 100 MMR. So you had to grind your way up
He was
to
unranked.
bronze.
He was unranked.
Okay. Maybe
This
that's why I
man.
didn't get bronze.
Yeah, you had to grind your way up to it, and
Yeah.
I would like get so nervous. I'm like, oh, I'm almost bronze. Like, even though it's like the gutter,
Yeah.
it's just you find this new game, you accomplish something, even if it's like, oh, I'm you know out of the not no longer in shitter rank, but still in shitter
Yeah.
2. You still
Should-
accomplish something.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a big part of it. Is just sense of accomplishment. Even like, like just me getting champ 2 now since I've been there so many times. I don't really care, but like someone who's been
Yeah.
say diamond 3 for the past 3 seasons, they grind and get there. They're gonna be really happy about that. Like way
Yeah.
more happy than I would be getting there.
Yeah, and then you would just tilt at that player because they're not going to be used to champ 2. You just
Yeah.
tilt
Like,
at
you
them.
fucking dog shit. You're so bad. What a save.
What?
Nice one.
The only thing that tilts, there are two things that really tilt me in Rocket League. One
Me
is
and Edge.
Wow.
called out. One is when people like have the season whatever grand champ, and they're
Oh.
like worse than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
And-
worst.
Oh yeah, you're boosted. Right.
And the second one is when the other guy, the guy on the other team, is worse than me, but he just thinks he's the next Kronovi, and maybe they're just doing it to get in my head, because I'm like really proactive with the mute button, but that still makes me upset, because I'm like, oh, this guy is so full of himself, and he's beating me, and I know I can beat him, but he's just gonna keep being an asshole, and he's gonna go around, jerking off to himself and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that sort of thing happens quite a bit.
But
The demos as well. Those can sometimes get in people's heads.
those
Me
do
personally,
get
I
in
don't-
people's heads, but not
I don't
mine.
really care about them. Yeah, no, I personally don't care about them. I don't mind them,
Depends on the
especially when they just
situation.
basically give me. Yeah, no, when you're all the way up, and like you're trying to get back, and you get done, when you're like, okay, it's just a free rotation. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm getting boost too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
well,
if they're like 5 goals up and then they come
Yeah,
and damage you, like,
yeah.
come on, dude.
Yeah, they just say it's like, come on, dude,
At least
you've
I
already
do.
won.
Yeah.
Like, chill
Yeah,
out.
I mean, for me, like when I get demoed, I'm like, well, it's my fault I got demoed. Like, there are a
Yeah.
few demos. There are more than zero, but a few demos that are just complete and utter BS that are out of your control. That doesn't happen
Yeah.
often. And
Yeah, no, there are sometimes where it does happen though, and a lot of times where you're like, oh, there's no way he was going fast enough, because it just doesn't look like he's going fast enough.
yeah, if they
And
can
it must
flip
be
at
just
the
because you
last
see the
second
trail.
and
Yeah,
get the speed,
yeah.
which I have done on accident many times. Uh,
Just
but
whoops, calculated.
yeah, I think that goes into another aspect about non-tilting is framing your experience differently. You know, like the demos, and then if you know your teammate. This was a big thing for me. I would often have teammates that would whiff open goals, or like whiff open saves and open goals, but open saves, and then I'm like, okay, like that was the easiest save, and you just whiffed it. Like you clearly don't belong at this rank. You know, you belong in silver too. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like, well, I kind of put my teammate in this position where he had to make a save by whiffing a shot upfield, and you know, okay, even though he sucks, I still made a mistake upfield. So what I'm going to take away from that experience is not that my teammate sucks, but that you know I need to be cleaner upfield and not let those opportunities through.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You know, just like seeing what happens, not always blaming your teammate, but seeing what you did wrong there, and trying to correct that. That's a good point there.
Do you guys find yourselves doing that kind of in game, or like, I just want to know your experience, like, whether you're solo queuing or queuing with my dumbass, what kind of goes through your head when shit kind of starts going south?
Damn, this guy's dog shit. Nah. No, yeah, it's like, you know, in that tournament when you were like kind of sucking, you know, I was still thinking about like what I could do better. You know, there was still a few things that I could have done better during that. I guess kind of carry more, or like just play more solid so that we still would have won. But I was just thinking about that, not really the
Dang,
fact that you sucked.
called out.
Uh, so like when we're playing ranked, if you're solo queuing, you don't really know the people you're playing with, so it's kind of harder to grasp like their abilities,
Yeah,
and you
because
might
someone could just be
expect them,
having a bad game and you wouldn't know it.
yeah, you might expect them to be able to do something, and then they don't do it. But when you're with your friends, you know their abilities,
Mhm.
you know what they're good at, and then you know they'll still mess up, but since you're with them, it's not a bigger deal, you know,
It's not as big of a deal, yeah.
because you
You're
don't
like, oh yeah, they fucked up.
look at it more when you're queuing with people.
Hmm.
Oh, I mean, you it's different because with your friends and they make a mistake, you know, oftentimes you're a voice, you're like, oh, my bad. They usually admit it.
Yeah.
And then it's you know it's easy to be like, oh, it's good. But online, sometimes they'll say sorry, and on the text chat, and you're like, that's not good enough. And then make the save, but or they don't, or even worse, they blame you. You know, even though it's
Yeah,
clearly their
they're like,
fault.
what a
And it's like,
save.
yeah,
Like, okay, but you passed it right to him. But okay. Yeah, it's my fault. I'm garbage. Okay. Yeah, it's like what I was saying when I was in or when I came into your guys' voice chat when you were doing rank threes without me. I was saying something like, yeah, when uh like I'll get pissed off at my teammates, but then when they say sorry, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, that's just how it is for me personally. Like I get upset and then I see them say something, I'm like, okay, well at least they know that they did something wrong and they're admitting it.
yeah. It's I don't usually spam sorry, but when it's egregious, I'll like say it once in chat. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I usually don't. I when I mess up, I the first mess up really bad. The first thing you should do is mute my teammate. But uh, maybe that's not the best option all the time.
Just like I don't even want to listen to your bullshit. Just mute. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm out.
I saw this clip where this guy he misses a wide open net and he starts rotating back and he like does a flip back to gain his speed. He's going supersonic. He pauses, mutes his teammate, and unpauses, and he still like has the flip going. It was the cleanest thing I've ever
What?
seen.
Damn,
That is a true grand champ.
that is the level of pettiness that I aspire to be one day. Mid flip, just that takes so much skill. Mid flip, going into your menu, going down to mute, clicking mute, and then going back in the same flip. Like that's like probably less than a second, or maybe a second. That's
He probably
insane.
has done that many times.
Yeah.
It could have been a
Years
keyboard
of
macro.
practice.
You know,
Yeah.
just like
Years of
you
practice.
miss a shot, hit F2, and then it just does all that for you.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But
That's still insane though. Especially if that's real. That's just ridiculous.
But speaking of muting, that has definitely helped me not tilt. Just, you know, it's not like I don't deal well by people talking shit, but sometimes I'll start playing like a little too aggressive or a little too like, "Rrr," and then start making mistakes and not playing as solid as I could be. And I just, you know, it's just toxic, and I don't need that kind of negativity in my life, so I'd rather just mute them. And same with my
Yeah.
teammates. Like, if I worry about what my teammate thinks of me, I do worse. But if I just play my own game, I tend to do better, even just solo queuing.
Yeah, just kind of focus on yourself. Don't worry about what your teammates think or what anyone thinks. That goes for real life too. You know, just worry about yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Boom.
Exactly.
Life lessons right there. Life lessons from a 15-year-old. Take notes, everybody.
So now we kind of got the like how to manage tilt aspect, but what about like what if you're kind of in a slump and okay you're not tilting, but you know you're obviously like upset with yourself with how you've been playing. How do you pull yourself out of a slump besides quitting the game?
Oh, that's okay. That's easy. All right, so you take a break for about 5 to 10 minutes. You go beat your meat, and you get right back into it. Works every time. Works every time.
The post nut clarity.
Foolproof plan right there. It works every time.
Cheesy, what
you
works for you?
Going into training, just practicing a couple things like just basic like saves or something. Because you know, if you're trying to, you just need to get the basics back down. You might have a hard time with it, but like in an actual game. But once you get the training back, you'll get that muscle memory back, and everything will just come together.
That is a really
Yeah,
good tip. I like
Yeah.
I don't do that. I should do that, but I don't do it because I'm like, oh, I want to get back in the arena. Throw me back in
Yeah.
the Coliseum. I'm
a-
a
I'm gonna win the
gladiator.
next
Coach. Put me in, coach. I'm ready.
I'll win the
no,
next one, I
definitely-
promise.
Definitely use the training packs to your advantage, though. They're there for a reason. You know.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
and they're more than just warm up. They can also be. I've done a few cooldowns where I've like tried to learn a new skill after playing a session,
Oh yeah.
and that kind of helps. This is kind of unrelated, but it's actually worked for me, and this is all anecdotal. I don't know if this actually works, but if like one time I was playing, I played Valorant before bed. Okay, so I played Valorant, and then I went to bed, and like as I was like falling asleep, I had my eyes closed, and I was like seeing the images of Valorant play out before me. It was like kind of like, you know, dreams is how you prepare for your brain for certain situations. But I was like seeing Valorant, and I was seeing myself peeking stupidly and dying, and then I was like, I need to work on my peaks. And then suddenly the next day, I was just so good. I was not so good, but like so good
Better.
relatively. I wasn't
Yeah.
peaking like
Yeah.
an idiot. It was just so weird how that happened.
Yeah, that does sound that is pretty weird. I've never had anything happen like that before. It's kind of weird.
Even with Valorant, if you go through a loss, like a couple losses in a row, you can always just go into practice. Like the games that have practice in them or like training are the best games because
Mhm.
you don't have to worry about other people. You could just go in and say that you're a god because you headshotted 50 bots in a row. You know,
Yeah,
feel
that's
better about yourself.
that's definitely a good one. Yeah, I'm just going to an exhibition, just clap some rookie bots real quick.
Yeah,
You'll feel
exactly.
amazing. You'll feel amazing.
I guess it does work, but you have to quiet the voice in your head. So like these are just bots.
Yeah, just like blast music so you don't even hear your own thoughts.
Yeah,
Boom.
exactly. Or just turn the game sound up so loud that your eardrums are bleeding.
Yeah.
You
it's
get
like
Vietnam flashbacks.
you don't hear your thoughts or anything else.
Yeah, you don't hear anything. Period. You're just deaf afterwards, and you're like, okay, this is fine.
So here's what I tilt the most at is chess, because there's
Oh
no
man.
yes, there's no like okay, Rocket League, you could have like a teammate that makes a mistake. You could have like a phantom hit or something, but chess, there's no excuses. It was you know, the guy
You're
is
dumb.
smarter than you and you're a dumbass, and that's how you lost the
Yeah.
game. So sometimes my pride has a hard time accepting that, because you have to accept the other people are better than you, but
Yeah.
it's you know, that is really hard to accept. I think even for me, who's been playing competitive games for a while.
Yeah, there definitely is a tilter, not really being able to pin it on anything else except yourself. Like, that's kind of how it is with ones for me. I don't enjoy playing them because, one, I don't like playing games alone. I always prefer to play with, like, friends. And I don't like not being able to blame something else.
Yeah, I mean, although blaming something else isn't how you get better. I mean, you're just talking about how, you know, looking at yourself, being introspective is how you avoid tilt. But then it seems like you remove all the excuses and you just tilt faster. So there's like this
Yeah.
balance of you have to look at yourself in kind of like from an outsider perspective almost, as opposed to taking everything personal.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So I hope you all have enjoyed IceCast episode 1, all about tilt. Yay! Or I guess grr. All right, homie, what did you learn today?
I learned that I'm a fucking bitch and just at tilting in ones.
All
And just
right,
in general.
all right, Cheesy, what about you?
You just gotta realize that some people are better than you. You're not. You gotta be able to work with other people without even being able to talk to them. That's the hardest part, I think.
All right,
Just understand that not everyone's perfect.
that's very insightful.
Good points.
There's a lot of brain power in this IceCast right now. It's like the movie where she can use 100% of her brain. That's like us, but 300%.
Yeah.
300% brain
I
power.
haven't thought this much in a long time, bro.
Yeah.
It feels good, doesn't it?
No.
It hurts.
It's like school. I hate school.
All
It's
right.
trash.
Peace out.